I am woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman? That's me, Maya Angelou. Welcome to this segment of the Afrocentrist podcast, The Woman, Her Story, and Her Impact, where I get to speak to women from across the globe, sharing their stories and how they are impacting their world. Coming to you every Wednesday, 4 p.m. GST. Of course, with your favorite show host, the energetic EJ. So make it a date with me every Wednesday. The Afrocentrist podcast, proudly African. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Afrocentrist podcast. My name is Ejiro Osakede, aka the energetic EJ, like you already know. And today on the show, especially on this segment, The Woman, Her Story, and Her Impact, I have a guest in the house. And as today on the show, we're going to be talking about her story. She's going to be sharing with us her story and how she's impacting the world. She is a mogul. She is a guru in the fashion industry, the brain or the mind behind Runway Dubai. And it's no other person than Modupe Omonze. And she's going to be telling us a little bit about herself, her journey so far, and how she's currently impacting our world. So don't go anywhere. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and let's dive into the discussion. But before we do that, here's a message for you.
New suit, tie and shoes. Remember in the good days burning through. And red lips, the color blue. Your favorite black dress, the way you move. Oh, whoa, oh no. You make me feel like.
Welcome back. Did you love what you saw? Did you love those designs? Did you see all those beautiful dresses and different designs? Yes, those are the works of my guest today. I told you that she's a fashion mogul, and we're going to be hearing firsthand from her how she got to where she is today, where she started from, and now it's going. So it's even safe to say how it started versus how it's going. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mommies and daddies, welcome Miss Modupe Omonze. Hi.
She is full of energy. I need some of that energy. I need to tap into your energy.
Boom, boom,
I
boom,
need
boom,
some.
tap.
Definitely. Especially today with 50 degrees outside. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Well, we're glad that, it's as if the weather is getting better. Especially
Dubai,
in the
you'd say
evenings.
It gets better. I did walk yesterday. And that was evening, like 9:30 in the evening. And
it was,
night.
Yeah.
And it was still humid.
Yes, actually,
so
yes. But somehow, I don't even know what it is, but it feels like it's getting a bit cooler somehow compared to earlier in August or May. It feels like it's getting a bit better. It feels like
no. I don't think you go out enough.
Maybe I'm too much in my cocoon, so I really don't get the weather. But that's okay. So good to have you on the show today, ma'am.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for being here. So let's just dive in right away. Tell us, who is Modupe Omonze?
Okay.
In your own words.
In my words.
Yes.
I always say this. I'm a wife first, a mom. I love God and I love the arts. I live for it. I think I live for
it. Can you see? From her hair to her neck piece. Ooh, I love this.
Thank you.
To her abaya. You can see really that she really loves the arts. Mm-hmm. So, how did all of this begin for you?
I'd say it started from when I was 13 years old with my dad not wanting us to stay home during the holidays. So he would always make sure we did something. We weren't fans of that. We didn't like it at all, but we had to. Yes.
You had no choice.
How dads are, African dads are really
dads
strict.
especially, yeah.
Yes. So we had to do sewing. We had to go to sewing school. We had to go to the mechanics. We were all girls, but we had to learn how to fix our cars. We had to learn how to change the tires. We learned everything. We learned cooking. We had to. So my dad didn't let us.
She's like, hey,
At all. We did everything.
you have to be
Under the sun.
independent.
Yes, we did everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Daddy.
No, we didn't say thank you then.
But you say it now.
There, we do.
You know,
We do.
I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
like you said, you didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So when did the love start for you? Because if it was like when it started, you didn't like, oh, why do we have to go learn how to sew? I want
Yeah.
to do something else.
Yeah.
But when did the love for you start for fashion?
Long after, I would say, like when we became adults, when we turned 18, 19, we realized that we were special. We had all the talent,
Skills.
all the skills that people didn't have, and we were feeling really
Cool.
Yeah, because our friends would want us to do stuff for them, and we could, and we could make money off of it. So yes, that was then we started appreciating my dad and all the hard work that he put us through.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you said you and your sisters had to learn this. Are all of you still in the line, or you were the only one who sustained it?
It's so funny. We are all still in the line.
Wow.
I mean, different aspects of fashion, but yes, we still do.
So in that reign or in that regard, have
Yeah.
you all collaborated on any major project before?
We should, right?
Yeah.
We have.
Since it's like different
Yeah.
part of fashion,
Yeah.
but it's all connected. I mean, I would love to see a show of the. And what was your surname before you got married?
Shani Barry.
Okay, so it's like the Shoni Barre sisters.
Girls,
Oh.
yeah. I
That would be
know.
amazing. So
I
what
know.
other part? So what part do you focus on, and what part does your sister or do your sisters focus on?
I love drafting, pattern drafting, and actually just creating a garment from start to finish. And my second sister is into merchandising.
Ah.
Yes. And my third sister is actually into bags and accessories and,
Like it's complete.
complete,
You
right?
make it.
Yeah.
She accessorizes it,
Yeah.
and the third one sells it.
So, thank you.
Whoa! Isn't that awesome? Like seriously, you guys should think about a collaboration.
We should.
And maybe
We
have
should.
like a series, a short series for a period of time,
Yeah.
where you just like a day in the life of Dubai, a day in the life of your other sister,
Yeah.
a day in the life of the third one, and
Yeah.
then bring it all together.
I
It will
know.
be amazing,
will.
Don't you think so?
We should get together. We're just lazy about it, and we live so far away
From
each
each other, I can imagine.
So,
I can
yeah.
imagine, but
Yeah.
it can happen. That's like an idea we're throwing into the universe. Hopefully, the universe picks it up,
Yes.
and then it becomes a thing. So, I remember that before we started recording, you were telling me about how you've lived in different parts of the world. Right, you've lived in Trinidad and Tobago. You've lived in the UK, Colombia.
Yeah.
You've been around the world. Why did you choose to settle in Dubai?
Dubai wasn't in our plan. I have to tell you that it wasn't. So,
I think that's common with Dubai, though. Like people like, let me just go
Absolutely.
for a while, and then 10
Yeah.
years later,
I'm still here. I'm still here 10 years, 11 years later. I'm still here. I can't believe it. Pinch me. But, I love it. I totally love it. I came here because my husband his job just takes him around the world. And we just wanted to settle down since the kids started, going to school and growing up and, missing their friends every time we moved. So we said, we need to settle down. And we found Dubai.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Or Dubai found me.
Isn't it just a lovely place to be?
It is.
But then you came here and you decided to make a statement by being the brain behind Runway Dubai, like a whole fashion show and everything. And I'm like, wait, what gave you the audacity to do that? As a Black African woman coming into this space and saying, hey, no, this is my space and I'm owning it. what gave you that boldness?
Like I would say, I'll be honest. It happened by accident.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't planned.
Please tell
It
us about the accident.
Oh my goodness. I faced a lot of, I mean, all people see is the glitz and glam, but I faced a lot of difficulties when I came here because it was a culture shock at first. And just because things don't happen like they do in other countries. In Dubai, there's strict laws. And things, happened like not like
every other place.
I actually wanted to do a show here. And like I do in all the countries that I've been, it's very easy. You just pay your money and you can do the show, right? But for here,
you gotta go through the protocols.
Oh my goodness, go through a tunnel.
How was that experience for you going through the
rabbit
tunnel?
hole. Okay, I'll say this. I love the fact, like, in the beginning, it was hard and I wanted to just give up. But thinking about it now, I love the fact that everything has a protocol, a rule, or you just have to go through the process.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The structure is just, you have to go through it.
Yes, which is really good. So I would say I started making plans to have a fashion show here. And I got a sponsor who sponsored me after seeing my designs. And he said, listen, I want to promote my company as well, so I would use your designs and your fashion show to promote my company. And it was a good deal because I told him, when he said, send me a proposal of where you want to do your fashion show and all of that. And I said, dead straight in his eyes, I want to do my fashion show at the Dubai Mall.
Ooh, that's massive. The biggest mall in the world.
It was, I had to say it. It was a dream, like my wildest dream, but something told me, tell him that.
Wow.
Let's see if he can make it happen. And he did.
That was a leap of faith right there.
It was. He gave me the money to do my fashion show at the Dubai Mall. I had gone to Dubai Mall. I said, here is the money. This is how much you have said. I want to do the fashion show. He said, and the guy said, do you own an event company? And I said, no. And he said, then you cannot do the fashion show. You have to go through an event company. You have to go through this process and all of that. And I was like, oh my God. That was my first disappointment. I thought it was going to be like
just straightforward.
Yeah. And so I went on Google. The very first event company I got, I went with them. And I said to them, they were really excited. I said, this is my money. I need to do a fashion show at the Dubai Mall. Do everything. I heard I have to come through you and everything. And I got the biggest, in fact, that is where my disappointments started from.
Wow.
Having to go through an event company wasn't
even big enough. No, disappointment.
No. They messed me up. Am I allowed to say that when I tell the story? They forgot to get a particular license to do the show in the Dubai Mall.
No way.
Can you imagine? An event company.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It was like I fell hard to the ground because my dreams. You know when you are dreaming and it's materializing, you actually see your design.
Like this is coming to life.
On the Facebook page
of the Dubai
mall.
Oh my
in the world.
God.
That is like, I thought, okay,
this is it.
Yes, I've arrived. Yes. But it's sad.
Like the event did not hold. My goodness.
No.
Guys, I will just plug in something right there. Like, not everything that glitter is gold, right? You've heard it over and over again, but especially now. I mean, this was like almost 12 years ago, right?
2012. So 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? But now imagine it now that like everybody is like on your face on the internet.
Yeah.
Please don't believe everything you see on the internet. And I'm
Yeah.
not trying to diss here, right? But I'm just saying when you're doing anything online,
Yeah.
still do your due diligence. But
Yeah.
I mean, like because of where you were coming from and the experiences you've had, you didn't feel any like if they have this massive, view online, then they must be able to do their job. Like that's what they said they would do.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how did you come back from that one? Because I can only imagine how hard.
I would say another angel saved me.
Oh,
Yeah. Because the first sponsor, I'll call him an angel. Because how many people will give you money to do a show at the Dubai Mall? Go check out how much it is to do a show at the Dubai Mall.
I mean, to do a show anywhere here, how much more to Dubai? Oh my God.
Yes. And after this happened, and they said, "Sorry, you can't do your show," my designs just disappeared from the Facebook page of the
Wow.
Dubai Mall. All my dreams just started crashing down, and I was back to square one. Yeah. And there's this guy that called me 2 weeks later. I'll tell you why he called me, because you might not be able to put two and two together. Like,
Yeah.
he is actually the owner of the event company, but the workers were doing the fashion show without really. I mean, it was a department where, he's the owner. So, I mean, he doesn't have to be micromanaging
every
everything,
aspect of it.
but he heard the story. He did. And thank God, because he is an angel. He called me and said, "Modupe, I heard what happened to you. All the money you have lost, I will pay everything back."
Wow.
Yes.
Seriously.
And he did.
Oh.
He made sure I had that show.
Oh. How was it afterwards? It's
Yeah.
more like seeing your baby.
Yeah.
At first you're excited this baby is coming alive, and then it's like no way, it's disintegrating just right
Yeah.
before you, and then someone comes to rescue you.
Oh yeah.
How?
That's the story of my life.
I wasn't even there, but I'm like, oh my gosh. All right,
Yeah.
so let's go on a quick break. I'll be right back and we'll talk about, okay, what happened after that? Like, how did she get here? How is she this amazing woman that she is today?
Oh,
and guess
thank
what?
you.
I met her at the African Women's Summit, right? African Women's Summit. And what endeared me to her was when one of her mentees in the crowd, in the audience, raised their hand after her panel session and said, I wanted to say something. Like it was supposed to be a question time, but then she gave a shout out to her. I mean, and right there on stage, she started crying. I'm like, who is this woman? I want to meet her. I want to hear her story. Because then she didn't let whatever it is happen to her back then. Because one thing she said that I held on to was, she said, I don't want anyone to go through what I went through when I came into this industry, in this market. And so I've set up a mentorship program to bring on people who wants to come into the fashion industry. And I'm like, now, that is what we're talking about. Women supporting women. So we'll be right back to hear how all of that happened. Hi there. Do you fit into any of these categories? Are you a stay-at-home mom with a lovely voice, sweet to tell bedtime stories? Or are you a coach with clients who love to listen to your voice? Or are you a young creative looking to explore the world of audio? That can be starting your podcast or lending your voice to SMEs for their business ads. Or are you great at interpreting and telling stories with the ability to captivate your audience? Then this audio bootcamp is just what you need to give expression to your voice. Do you know that you can earn extra income by applying your voice in these different areas? Not sure how? Let me show you how. Sign up for the Audio Bootcamp course today and join a community of like-minded creatives like yourself using their voices for impact and income generation. Click the Learn More button now to sign up.